I've heard several men say like it's sometimes best to not want to be there so you can be there because it seems like the fathers who don't care get the most liberties as far as being around the child. Like I've heard this like philosophy. I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but it's like the fathers who don't do anything, they make exception for it. Whenever you want to come see the kid, you can see him. Whenever you want to do XYZ, you got open arms. Like whatever relationship you want to build, I'm here to support it. But the ones who be trying to seem like they get ran through the ringer, from what I've heard men say, I've never been through the child support situation, but
Men
I've
don't
heard.
follow this advice. If you
I'm
have
not
heard
saying
that,
do this.
men, I know, I'm saying, men listening, if you have heard that and you think that that shit works, don't do it. You, as a man, will regret it if you really want to be a part of your child's life.
Go
Period.
ahead.
That man AP got new camera angles. He got new swag. I see you player.
Go
So,
ahead, Enos.
I see you
um,
over here. Yeah.
so outside of the pettiness, right? I think because he's the type of man to go tit for tat, do you think that he's the best person to have in the delivery room to add stress to an already stressful situation? Like, I understand her saying that it's because he's moved on, but even in the dynamic of how they work, I can't see how he would be supportive in that moment instead of making things worse.
I don't know. I think he should at least be given the opportunity. So my thing is, if he gets in there and then it does turn into what that ended up being at the time of her delivery, then I think it's time where she could be like, "Can you just have him leave?"
So is it shit come too?
Can no, no.
She need to be on the
So
outside.
let me ask you a question. Would
Now
y'all be okay?
legally,
Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question real fast. So would you be okay if she got a boyfriend and both of y'all, the boyfriend and you, were in there together? You're able to have two people.
Hell
DNA test.
no.
Oh, so it's not.
Hey,
So
look,
it's
we can
okay
do the
for him
DNA
to
test
have a
right there
girl.
with both of us.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't think anybody
Huh.
here agreed with him bringing the other girl there.
No,
Yeah.
Listen,
no.
can I share a story with y'all right quick?
Uh-oh.
Is it
Sound
gonna
like
be
some
like?
drama.
Go ahead, Harrison.
All right. So listen, I'm gonna give this brother the benefit of the doubt because I'm gonna share a story with y'all. Randomly, we had a conversation with my father, and he asked me, "Do you know how I responded, or you know what I said when you was born?" I was like, "No." He said, "When you were born, what I told you was you were the most beautiful thing in the world to me at the time." And I was like, I never heard my dad say something like that to me ever in my life. And I want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt because when you're in that room, you see her struggling and fighting to bring this child into the world. Right now, they both being petty. Cool, fantastic. But sometimes when you get into situations, the stuff you say you would do and how you respond might not be how he responds in real time. So I'm willing to give this brother the benefit of the doubt. Now, granted, he bring that girl in there, it's curtains. That's just is what it is. But I think that when push come to shove, when he's in that place, like y'all mentioned, this girl's still staying with him, and he already chose the girl. So I think that he cares a lot about her, even though they're not together. And then also she has his child, so there's still some level of care for her and the child at the same time. So I think that if he were to be allowed in there, I would hope and pray that he would have a change of heart, see what she's going through, and be what he needs to be in that moment to make sure that that child comes through, the best way possible.
I just got a quick question to the ladies. Let's say you are that. Could you? What percentage would you say of women are willing to be that dude's other woman, knowing he has a woman pregnant at home? You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of women who will do it. But nowadays, yes, it is. It's happening right now. We probably got a few in the chat. Look, that's
Jesus.
that happens all the time. So I
So,
wouldn't. 'Cause I
Well,
would-
Why do you
DJ,
do your people like that? This is your chat. Why you do them like that?
Because I don't think it would be the majority. I would definitely think that is a minority group of women that would do that.
I just said it's a
I
lot.
think there's a minority group that would do it knowingly. I think the rest of the majority don't know that they're the other woman in that situation.
And you know what? A lot of times, what happens is they'll find out once their feelings are already involved. And at that point, it's like it's hard to back away. Men don't tell women what's going on. They wait, they wine and dine them until they know they've got them, and they just slide it in there. Like, by the way, I got a kid on the way. And now she's like, what? And her feelings are already involved. It's hard for her to leave.
Is one Curtis serious?
You said what?
Well, one Curtis in the chat. He just said, yes, we do. I have 2 girlfriends. I've had them both pregnant in the same house at once.
I mean, think about that. We know of people, we've heard of people who've had people pregnant at the same time. You guys, we've seen that.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I don't think that's the vast majority. I definitely
Of course, none of this is the majority, but it happens a lot. Enough to talk about.
with what one Curtis is talking about, wouldn't that be closer to the polygamy side of things?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If that was his situation,
yeah, that's consensual. It's a little different. This woman clearly did not know that this was going to take place. Any final thoughts? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I think we got to make sure we always make that distinction between consensual and deception.
right?
And yeah, it sounded like, I don't know, he could refer to us and let us know, was it consensual, and was everybody on board with it?
He said they were in the same house, so I think they knew what was going down.
He's saying 7 years, 5 kids with both women. So I'm assuming,
I would say it was consensual then.
That's not the same as what.
No, hell no.
This lady does not agree with the situation.
Can you run those numbers back? What? How many?
Is there such as forced consent? And what I mean by that, no, listen, what I mean by that is I say consent by default. So if let's say they were together and, living together, whatever, he meets somebody else and then he just moves the other woman up in the home. Now, if I am, I would say if I'm your dependent, so to speak, like if I've been living with you and you've been taking care of the household and, I don't have anywhere else to go because you're the primary, source of income, you move another woman in, I really don't want it, but I have to deal with it because of my situation. Is that consent?
No. So that's considered financial abuse, emotional abuse. That's not, it could be coercion. It could be a whole lot of things, but that's not consent. Backing somebody into a corner never equals consent.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Go to her mama's house? Her girlfriend's house?
What if her mother's in a different
house?
Or a different
How do you even know y'all so special?